Welcome everybody back to Veil of Sound. As I have told you on our Facebook post on Sunday, yes, June 9th, no interview, but 2 interviews this week. And therefore I am very, very happy to have 2 guys here that fit to our slogan perfectly, lifting the veil from underground music. And these 2 guys, we have already had them on our website with their project. But first of all, Rule of 2, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
First thing that we always ask, shirt of the day.
Okay, I can start with my shirt of the day.
Ooh, I like that.
You can see it. You like the band? It's a Swedish 90s hardcore emo something, like a teen favorite of mine called Fireside.
Yeah.
And they've been really inspiring to like every project I've been in since I was like 17. So that's my t-shirt for today.
Mine is the old band, Dunderbeist.
Which is another band we're playing in. Which,
we will have to talk about you guys being workaholics. Before anybody asks, I chose a German post-rock band called Noorvik.
Haven't heard of them.
Who, of course, took their name from one of those places in northern Norway, Noorvik. Right?
Yeah, Noorvik. Yeah, I've been there.
So, and they took the name from that. So, but guys, first of all, for all those who are not happy and fortunate enough to see you guys in Oslo and Norway performing all the time, maybe just say who you are and what you do in Rule of 2.
Okay, first of all, my name is Ronnie. I'm the singer and the lyricist, guitarist, play some synths and stuff.
Christian, I'm everything else.
It's programming, producing, doing the bass, synths, and
mixing, producing.
Yeah. And you 2 guys, Christian already said it, you have several bands together. I think at the moment it's 3, right?
Yeah.
Dunderbeist, Damokles, and Rule of 2, right?
Yeah, that's right. But we actually met back in 97.
Wow.
When we went to this musicians high school in Norway, and we just like connected both socially and musically at once, and we started this like new metal band called Endorphin, which the new metal was at its early stages at the time with Korn and Deftones and Limp Bizkit and that stuff, and we were really into that. So we started playing the band. It's kind of cheesy listening to now, so let's forget about that. But it was like the beginning of all our future collaborations, both with us and other several musicians, starting bands like Stoneguard, which I played in for a while, and Dunderbeist, which we played in, and eventually Damokles, and then Rule of 2, which we started last fall.
And now, as you've said, what you are both doing in Rule of 2, is it the way that in the other bands, in Damokles and in Dunderbeist, you do the same things? So that, for example, one of you always plays the guitar.
Yeah, I'm always the guitarist and the backup singer, and he's always the bassist and the producer in the mixing phase and stuff of the band.
But we are the songwriters.
Yeah, we both write the songs.
So it's kind of the same, but it's a different kind of writing.
It's also different music.
Yeah, it is. And the whole idea of when we started up with the Rule of 2 idea this September, I think it was. I think it all started when I was having my daily walk in the forest. and I was listening to this Crosses song, the Crosses, if you're familiar
One of
with
those
them.
side projects of Chino Moreno. Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
And I was really stuck on this song I had on my ear, and I knew he had this techno electronica project he was working on, and I sent him the song and said, could you try to make something like this? That would be so fun to try do some vocals on. And like the next day he had this sketch of this amazing song, which was the first single we dropped, called Bygones.
Yeah.
And it was done in like a few days, and we just looked at each other and wow, we have to make this into something more. This was so much fun. And this is like the opposite of doing the rock band thing, which we have been doing for 25 years. So it was like, let's do something completely different and do a bit more like electronica.
The best thing to make songs with Rule 2, we don't need a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drummers are hard to work.
That's the main and best thing.
Because both of us can do all instruments there is except drumming.
Yeah.
so we do programming of the beats and loops and stuff, and we skip the whole drummer part.
Then you also don't have to talk about stupid song ideas with like, I'm the drummer, but I got.
Yeah.
It's the Rule of 2. It's like that. It's us.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Something that we should clue up is that you did not name the band Rule of 2 because you're two guys, but I've heard that there is a slightly different background to the name of the band.
You've been Googling, haven't you?
No, I have my good friend Knut in Oslo, who told me that it has a different background, and now I want you to talk about it, because otherwise people will say like, "Oh yeah, the guy's crazy." Yeah. So it has something to do with Star Wars, doesn't it?
It does. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, always have been, and we both are. Like, Star Wars, sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes, everything. We're kids of the 80s, born in the late 70s, so maybe natural. But I wanted to do some nerdy reference when we talked about a band name, and I got into this stuff with the Sith Lord and his apprentice, and this myth called the Rule of 2, which I thought was kind of funny. It's not that well known because it's never mentioned in the movies, just on the fan wiki stuff. So it's kind of narrow, but it's still kind of cool and fitting the stuff we did. So
yeah, you can mostly find that in the Star Wars books and comics, right? So it's never mentioned.
But it's never mentioned in any movie. So, but I don't know.
Also implies, Ronnie, that you don't only watch the movies, but you also read the books and stuff, right?
Yeah. And comics. So, like I said, I always been a Star Wars nerd.
Totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah. I can understand that with Star Wars. I've never been somebody who liked Star Trek. I don't know why. I'm
the same. I'm the same. I think the most kids our age who's into sci-fi is either Star Wars or Star Trek.
Yeah.
But I always thought Star Trek sucked. It's boring. A lot of people are gonna hate me now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just like the old Star Wars. The new Star Wars, and it's no.
That's also always the discussion, right? Which trilogy do we like best? For all three of us, I guess it's the original trilogy, right?
Of course.
Yeah. And it's also interesting that a lot of people have been blaming the franchise for basically repeating themselves in the last trilogy, but at the same time, we have to agree, those episodes 4 to 6 were just perfect storytelling, and you know, why not repeat it if it works? I don't know how you feel about that in storytelling chronology, the first three, you know, where all of a sudden he turns into Darth Vader, I always felt as if those were out of those three trilogies, that is my least favorite one.
Yeah, agree. But it's a interesting backstory. But I don't think they made enough of it. They could have made it better.
Yeah, definitely.
And the casting could have been better.
Yeah, I still don't believe Hayden Christensen to be a good choice for the
he has the like
grown up Anakin Skywalker.
He has like the Keanu Reeves syndrome. He has one expression.
Like, yeah, that's true. But Keanu Reeves
do one thing and
added a smile to it.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, and
yeah,
it's also interesting. He's I think the only one major character in all of the 9 movies that never got to do anything else than Star Wars. I mean, like, I know that he did other movies, but don't count. I mean, like, Natalie Portman was big before Star Wars. We don't have to talk about Samuel L. Jackson and all the others.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah, Harrison Ford.
Mark Hamill almost didn't do anything after Star
Wars. But he was happy that they did another 3 rounds for him.
Yeah. But he did some series and movies now the last couple of 5 years or so.
Yeah.
So,
Carrie Fisher didn't do a lot, right?
No, not really.
She also didn't one. Anyway, before we talk too much about Star Wars, let's talk about your band. And I wanted to ask that question. I mean, like, you have 3 bands. Would you both consider yourselves workaholics?
Yeah, we must be. we do this every day. Like this is like a no day off kind of project. We have to do something every fucking day.
Yeah, but it's my day job.
Okay.
Because I drive my kid to the kindergarten, go home, turn on the PC and start working.
Okay.
Around 7 hours.
And while he's doing that, I sit at my other day job, which I'm not able to do because I have to chat with him all the time and listen to variations and sketches and have to feedback. And then I go to the other studio at night and do some vocals and guitars on that. So he has something to work on the next day. And just like, we're never in the same room, really. No, we just have 2 bases and we have the internet and we just like talk to each other all the time.
We're trying to meet up every Wednesday. Try. That's the best thing with the band. You don't have to meet.
Other people would say different.
Yeah. But we have done this so many years now. Like meeting the band, rehearsal, but now we can just sit at home.
And we have like other obligations. We have kids, we have girlfriends and stuff, and
it's a very nice
now with the internet, it's easier for you to work that way.
But I actually think that the whole COVID stuff changed the whole interactive bit in a lot of bands and creative processes, really. Because that's when in Dunderbeist at the time too, we just started to not meet that often. We just worked on our own home studios, sending each other stuff and like making a whole album without rehearsing once. It was like, wow, we can do this. So,
yeah.
Like
but
now
I guess
we
your
have
experience. It's also like a big factor for that, right? I mean, like, you guys have been doing it for nearly 30 years now.
Yeah, and that's another thing because we know each other so well creatively, and like when I send him something, I almost know what he's gonna say before he says it, and the other way because we have this symbiosis after 25 years of writing music and playing together. So that helps as well.
But this is a little bit new way of writing because it's more electronic,
Yeah, and
narrated.
plus we're on the two. We don't have to wait for the fifth slow guy who's never responding.
The drummer. So
yeah, but it works for us.
Christian, you said that this is your day job, and that you you both have mentioned that you produced the record, and that you also produce Dunderbeist and probably also Damokles. Do you also do production for other bands?
not production, but like songwriting. I did the Eurovision Song Contest now for Norway, but not the winner, but third place.
Yeah, much better than us.
Yeah.
Like, where did we Germans land? 8th, 9th, something like that. I don't know. I was like,
and I also write for other people.
And some mixing jobs as well.
Yeah. But that's like I quit my day job for like 3 months ago. But it's not quitting because I'm rich about the making music, but my health.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I'm ruined about the rock life.
You're ruined by the rock life. Okay, but let's talk a little bit about that moment. So Ronnie, you've mentioned that basically you had that idea of incorporating some electronic stuff, and at the same time, Christian was already doing something like that. So how did it then come together? Like after so many years together, you probably already knew that it would work, but how do you write songs? Do you send files back and forth?
Yeah, actually. Sometimes the idea comes from me and I do some programming, and I go to my studio and put on some demo vocals, and then I send it back to him, and he fixes the loops and the bass and stuff so it sounds better, and he sends it back to me. I add some guitars and synths and maybe make the vocals a bit better, and like back and forth in different versions.
And now we have 15 or almost 20 songs.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And just 5 of those are released till now. So we're like we're like constantly making music and recording music. So we have now we are you're having the EP1.
Yeah.
But the EP2 is ready.
And 3.
And 3. Yeah.
So episode 2 is already ready.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole trilogy is actually done. We're focusing on the next trilogy. Almost. But we're way ahead. We try to release a song a month, and but we have like songs for almost 2 years, so we have to like
And now that you are doing this completely new kind of music for you, what does that indirectly mean, for example, for KITE, or that is Ronnie's other band, or for Damokles, for Dunderbeist? Do these projects now work a little bit more slowly?
Well, it came a bit naturally because KITE is having a slow period. Dunderbeist is having a slow period. So now the last year it's been mostly Damokles and Rule of Two. But we also have a full finished KITE album that's going to be released soon. But the other guys as well has other projects, so everything has to like fit together. So it's like a logistics problem. And Dunderbeist is more like on hold for a few years because one of the guys moved to the south of the country and doing a career as an artist. And okay, let's just do other projects for a while and meet again. So
Yeah, we are meeting up in September.
September. Oh, yeah.
Damokles is going to release a new single now in
August.
Yeah. And
the third album is done, so it's gonna be released this winter, I guess. So we're usually like queued up way before things are happening. Like I guess that's the same for a lot of bands here. Like most of the stuff that's being released actually was recorded a year earlier, and the band is already tired of the material and working on the next. But the audience doesn't know that, so it's a secret we want to keep.
Well, now it's not a secret anymore. But I know what you mean. I was talking to Robin from The Ocean last year, and he said that because of COVID, they basically have 2 more complete records just needing to be recorded. And that's just, I guess that's the case with a lot of people. Ronnie, you've already mentioned it. You know, you said like, okay, we are waiting on somebody who is in another project, and we do this project and that project. That is something that is pretty striking about the Norwegian scene at the moment, I would say. There are a lot of collaborations happening. Do you yourselves have any explanation for why there is so much going on in Norway at the moment? It's even more than in the 90s, if I was asked.
I'm not sure, because Norway is kind of small. It's like a bigger country, but the music community is a bit maybe transparent. Everybody knows what's going on, who's who, and it's like really friendly. It's not like this knifing and cloak and dagger stuff like before. I think like everybody's backing each other and have this really backing attitude against each other, which is a really nice thing. So it's easy to just invite people to join. Can you do some backing vocals on this song? Yeah, that's cool. I got actually mentioned Sibir earlier. Jimmy, the singer there, joined the backings on a song for the new KITE album, which hasn't been released yet. And I think a lot of Oslo, especially, or Norwegian musicians are doing that kind of stuff these days. I'm not quite sure why, but I think it's like a friendly vibe going on. Everybody's backing everybody, and it's a good thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of music happening in Norway. I mean, if anybody looks at our website, you will find loads of Norwegian artists being featured on Veil of Sound. Also from and that is also very interesting, from very different genres. I mean, like you have guys like Arabrot, okay, Vela who live in Sweden, but still they're Norwegians. You have you guys, that whole Oslo scene, and you have like that Trondheim and Bergen scene. So there's always a lot of stuff going on, and different regions, different genres. That is definitely interesting. I'm
not sure how it is in other countries, so it's hard to compare when you're in the Norwegian bubble, really.
Well, if I think of Germany, for example, you have certain cities that you would associate with certain genres. Maybe apart from Berlin, because everything is happening in Berlin. But you know, every bigger city has its scene, but then that scene very often is limited to one kind of music, or you know, at least
it's almost the same in Britain, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
You have the Manchester sound, you have the London sound, you have the Sheffield sound. Yeah.
When you think about the Oslo scene, and you've been part of that scene for 3 decades, how would you describe the scene now compared to back in the 90s?
Well, it's a bit like I said, really. I think now, especially after like social media and Instagram and Spotify and everything, I think the bands are backing each other much more than before. But before the transparency of the internet, you could just like lie your band big or something, just tell, my shit is better than yours, and
Yeah.
you don't have the numbers to actually prove it. You just have to believe it or not. So I think it was a different vibe before, when everyone would have this need to overstep everyone else to like get up there. But now it's like you just can't say I'm better than you, because everyone can just go to look at your Spotify monthly listeners and say no, you're not.
It's too many bands.
Yeah,
it's like it's difficult to say hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
and work in a band, it's so much more difficult now.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think there's anyone really earning any money from the music. So it's like it's more passion. It's not work. Maybe like it was more before, because back when you sold records, people actually met up at live shows more often. Now it's like more you just do this for fun, and yeah, it's changed somehow. I can't really explain it, but I guess the whole internet, social media stuff has had some effect on it.
Yeah,
and maybe the 2020s are a more friendly sphere in history. I don't know.
well, there we come to that COVID thing again. I think that
might be.
A lot of people have turned to music at that time for their guiding light out, and with the help of the internet, we are just able to find so much good stuff. And at the same time, there are also more people turning to making music as a way out. So that there is like a lot, of course, there are a lot of new bands, new artists, and they now have a chance to get some kind of support more easily nowadays, I would think.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's also, of course, interesting when you say like, okay, now people are in it more for the fun of it than the money. I hope that will continue. I hope.
I think it will. I can't see really any other way for this whole digital scene to develop.
That's true. That's true. Although there is, of course, also one artist in Norway that nobody wants to work with, and that is a good thing. An artist formerly known as Christian.
Okay.
Vikernes.
Yeah. Or maybe the whole black metal scene is different. I'm not that familiar, but
well, let's put it like that. I listen to a lot of black metal, and over the last couple of decades, I have met nobody from Norway who says, "Oh, I want to work with him," and that is a very, very good thing. That is a very, very good thing. Anyway, guys, first of all, thanks for all the insight into the record. But of course, nobody leaves the Veil of Sound interview without having to go through the infamous quickfire round.
Okay.
And I will give you always two alternatives, and you have to choose. So let's start off with a band that I know you are into, and you also already dropped them, the Deftones. I'll give you two records, and you have to choose. And I will
like us together, or
no, each one of you.
Okay.
And I will not give you White Pony, because that's obviously their best record.
No, it's not my favorite. So
anyway, Diamond Eyes versus Koi no Yokan.
Diamond Eyes.
Diamond Eyes.
Have you got an explanation for that? Why do you both so quickly?
No, it's a stronger album, better songs all through. The other one, which I can't remember the name of, Koi something.
Yeah, Koi.
It's more uneven. It has some good songs. It has some weak songs. I think Diamond Eyes more like evenly good.
I just answered the same as Ronny, because I don't know the album.
Okay.
It's interesting. It's interesting. I think that a lot of people, I think that there are like one or two bigger songs on Koi no Yokan than on Diamond Eyes, but it's the same thing. I would say like Diamond Eyes is more of a well done record.
I have to see the covers.
The Damokles is the owl, the white owl.
Yeah.
The one is the owl, and the other is that where it's the bottom is red, and the rest is like stars and shiny.
Yeah, and a big skull or.
Yeah. No, the skull is Deftones.
Yeah. Okay. Mix those maybe. Yeah.
Some shoegazy stuff. The Cure, or let's say indie rock, whatever you want to call it. The Cure. Which record do you prefer? Pornography or Disintegration?
You want to answer first?
I don't know. I have to see it in front of me.
So I have to see Disintegration because that's one of my favorite albums of any artist of all times. But I like both albums, but that one I listen to like regularly. I listened to the other day, so.
I don't know. I'm not into albums.
Oh, so
no, I just hear the songs. I don't care about the albums. I switch a lot.
Okay, then for you, Christian, A Forest or Lullaby?
A Forest.
When we talk about A Forest?
Okay.
Yeah. I just love Disintegration. It's hard for me to see.
Forest,
but I know what you mean.
Like, yeah.
Let's turn to electronic music a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Depeche Mode, Some Great Reward versus Violator.
Violator.
Yeah, I have to say Violator as well because I know that one and not the other one as well.
The other one has, for me, the best love song ever.
Which is
Somebody.
What are the release years for those two albums?
Wait. Violator isn't that like 91, 92?
Yeah,
and Some
early,
Great Reward must be 86, 87, something like that.
Yeah.
Soft Kill versus Drap Majesty.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Soft Kill.
Those are two bands I've been listening a lot to the couple of 2 years, and I was a bit surprised of the change that Soft Kill made on their latest album, which at first I thought, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
But I've gotten used to the new stuff and I like it a lot. So, but I also fell in love with the Drap Majesty. So I think I have to choose Drap Majesty actually. For now, for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for today, for right now, Portishead, the third album or the second album?
Second.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, the first. I think the rank is first, second, third for me.
Yeah. Okay. And probably also for Christian, right? First, second, third.
Yeah.
I'll give both of you 2 songs from the 80s sung by females. Sade's No Ordinary Love versus Susan Vega's Tom Steiner.
The last one I don't think I'm familiar with.
Susan Vega.
Susan Vega. That's the one who has My Name is Luca, right?
Yeah.
That's the other big hit. But I'm talking about Tom Steiner.
Oh yeah. Not that one. The other one.
I'm with a dip.
With Tom Steiner.
I always thought that was a really annoying song.
So then you must go with Sade.
Yeah, I have to.
Also because the Deftones covered it.
It's the cover.
Yeah. No. Let's not.
Bad earworm. And for the nerds, I have 2 questions. And with one of them, I think it's not a question at all because one of the alternatives is a bad one. Marvel versus DC.
Want to answer
Marvel
first?
comics or DC?
I think maybe he's a more kind of DC guy. I'm a diehard Marvel
No,
fan, so
because
for me it's DC.
Marvel have Wolverine.
But
I
do
love
you mean
Wolverine.
comics or movies? Or
Comics,
like
comics.
both?
With
Comics.
movies, I mean, like the DCEU just simply sucks. They don't have any good
Yeah.
movies
No,
apart from the Batman
that's-
movies, but that is something
Yeah.
else.
It's Marvel because of Wolverine.
no, for me it's Marvel because of the whole nostalgic factor. I've read like Spider-Man and X-Men and stuff since I was 8, so
But for me, in both cases, it would be Marvel. The comics are
Yeah.
better, and the
Yeah.
movies, we don't have to talk about that. Although I must admit, the best superhero cartoon character from those two companies is Batman. That is just for
Yeah.
me the best one. But
Yeah. But Batman or Wolverine are like their stars.
yes,
guess.
also somewhat similar in character, right? But Batman was always my favorite when it comes
Yeah.
to DC. All the other stuff, it's very easy because with DC, the superheroes are just too strong. There is not
Yeah, but Batman isn't really a superhero. He doesn't have any
exactly.
superpowers.
That's why I like him. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
That's the only DC thing that I like. And you
Yeah.
know, otherwise it's always Marvel.
Yeah.
And talking to the Star Wars nerds, I will not give you a question about any of the movies, but 2 TV shows that they have produced: The Mandalorian versus Bad Bunch.
Mandalorian. of course.
Same here, because I haven't seen the other.
No, I saw a couple of episodes and wasn't that into it. So I love
For me as
Mandalorian.
well. The
And I
Mandalorian
like
is just really good.
and I love Pedro Pascal as an actor as well. So
So guys, thanks for your time. Thanks for all the insight into the new EP, and also telling us that we get another EP soon. That is cool. And
probably in December.
and enjoy the rest of your evenings, my friends. Talk soon.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.